Why? Why turbo over supercharger?
Yeah, swaps and stuff, rims big as monster trucks, wide harnesses, yeah boy we stock 'em up. Hit subscribe so you know you stay in the loop. Hit the bell, new videos coming soon.
We are back. Another Turbo Tuesday upload. Hopefully y'all liking the content, man. We're bringing the Turbo Tuesdays, talking about me trying to accomplish a 750 horsepower goal to the wheels with turbo. You notice on the thumbnail we had a supercharger. Why would I go turbo over a supercharger? Several different reasons. Why would I want to do something like that? Although both make crazy power. Both make crazy power. But one makes free power. Turbo makes free power. Let me alright. Turbo makes free power. Straight off the exhaust. Turns the exhaust housing, which in turn turns the compressor housing, which makes boost. Supercharger turns off the crank. There's a parasitic loss there. Probably not enough to matter for what I'm trying to do, like the 750 horsepower. But I don't know how much I would have to spin the motor over to make that 750 with a supercharger. Hopefully I can turn the motor over with less RPM, or maybe the same RPM. I don't know, to produce that 750 horsepower that I want to make. You know what I'm saying? So both are perfect for what I'm trying to do. But what I'm trying to do in this situation, I feel like is going to be more efficient and more easier for me. And then I feel like the higher RPMs, the turbo is going to make more power. Where the supercharger is going to be limited at a certain RPM because of the pulley size. It can only make so much boost. So, I mean, can I make it what I'm trying to go with a supercharger? Probably, more than likely. But can I just go ahead and try with the turbo S475? So, why not? But the pros on a supercharger: instant power, instant torque. It's just like crazy instant. Crazy instant. You know, you get out the hole fast, all that. But before we go any further, I want to say one thing. These goals are my goals. The horsepower goal is my goal. It's not a goal to go out here and try to race this person, to beat this person, to be the fastest with this person, because 750 horsepower ain't the fastest. I mean, nowadays, 1,000 horsepower is like the new 500. You know what I mean? The old 500 that everybody wanted to get, now it's like 1,000. They say it's so easy to get. I've yet to see it. One day I hope to get there. Right now, we're going to go ahead and try to make this 750. So, therefore, this is a personal goal of mine. So, the way that I'm going about it is a turbo. Supercharger can definitely do it. The one thing that I'm going to have to deal with the turbo is lag. With the supercharger, there ain't no lag. You know what I mean? So that's the give and take part of it. You know, the lag, the turbo lag, the boost lag. It's okay. I'm just trying to make 750. And I'm trying to do it with a turbo. Supercharger is going to be simpler installation. Bolt on. Belt, pulleys, done. Right? In theory. I know there's other parts that has to go in there. Bigger injectors, bigger fuel pump. Same thing I'm going to have to do here. Same thing I'm going to have to do here. So, why not? I mean, why not use the wasted energy from the exhaust to turn the turbo to make power? Why not? Now, my other dilemma, it's not really a dilemma, my other thought is doing away with this log manifold, which is log manifolds refer to driver's side passes over into this passenger side. All the exhaust gases go into one side, one log, feeds the turbo, which turns everything. Log manifold is said to create some back pressure, and you want back pressure. With a turbo, you also want heat. Or do I go ahead and go with a header? Do I go with a header, forward-facing headers, and then down pipes up over into the turbo? The problem, the thing that I have different on this turbo is it's a twin scroll turbo. And what I mean by twin scroll turbo is that it has two separate ports for exhaust to go into on the feed side. I'll pull it off and show you in just a minute. So it's a T6 housing. We'll call it T6, just a square. And then it's got a divider. And that divider is for passenger side, driver side. With this log manifold, everything's going to come out from the driver side over to the passenger side and feed into the twin scroll T6 flange. Feed into the T6 flange. So, do I go ahead and leave it like it is and then bolt it up like that? Or do I go ahead and run forward-facing turbo-style headers, LS-style turbo headers, and then create some type of manifold to cross over in the front? Another thing about crossing over in the rear, in my opinion, the other thing crossing over in the rear is there's heat. And that heat is going to transfer because it's an exhaust tube. It goes over, crosses over, under the engine, somewhere near the converter, somewhere near the transmission, somewhere near the oil pan. That's going to generate heat. Is that heat going to affect the transmission? Is that heat going to affect the converter? Is that heat going to affect my oil? Is it? Not to the point where it's going to make a difference, probably not, no. But I think two forward-facing headers look so much cooler. I really do. I really do. I really do. Man, if y'all don't mind, go ahead and hit that subscribe for me. I really do. And then with this intake, Sniper Holley EFI Sniper intake is said to be good for X amount of pounds of boost. The cam is good for X amount of pounds of boost. Hopefully we don't have to run 20-something pounds of boost to make 700 horse. You know what I'm saying? The transmission I plan on running with the 4L80E is going to be a lot of drivetrain loss through that 80E. The 80E is a horsepower robber, they say. I would much rather have a TH400, but I want to drive this thing. No, it's not a race truck. Not trying to create a race truck. I'm just trying to create a high horsepower truck. That's it. High horsepower truck. Personal goal, 750 to the wheel on 24s. We haven't showed you that either. Got that coming too. On 24s. So what was I meaning about twin scroll? Let's take a look at it. Turbo is just sitting here. Just no other reason, just sitting here. All right. Look in there. See that? That's two separate exhaust ports, which is said to be help spool efficiency, stuff like that. So that's why I feel like it's more important for me to run that way. Now, when I do that, I'm going to have to run two wastegates because we have two separate exhaust ports. So I'm going to have to run a wastegate on passenger side, wastegate on the driver's side. There's no way around it unless I run a log manifold and run one wastegate. From what I gather, you can control your boost better with dual wastegates. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. So, what do y'all think? What do y'all think? What are my possibilities here? Am I shooting in the dark? Am I shooting too high? Am I? This is a fly cut LQ4. I think they said it's the same as an L69. So whatever that is. I think an L69 is maybe an is a, let me look it up. We're gonna find out what an L69 is. Correction, L96. Same as the L96. It's a very low 9.7-to-1 compression engine. Hopefully, with me putting these LS1 heads on here, it had bumped the compression up. We shall see. Like 360 horsepower and 350 foot-pounds or 380 foot-pounds of torque on the L96. So I'm not mad about it. I mean, it's a 6.0 with Gen 4 style internals, which is really gonna help what I'm trying to do. Remember, we gotta gap the rings. So what do you guys think? I mean, 9-to-1 compression, it shouldn't have no problem being able to shove a whole bunch of boost in there with some fuel. You know what I mean? I don't see there being a problem. Supercharger, can't say that I know as much about the Supercharger, but I do know that as that 9-to-1 compression on it ain't gonna hurt it either. You know, shove a whole bunch of boost inside that bad boy and let it eat. Let it eat. Let it eat. S475 turbo, Borg Warner. There's 1,000,001 different turbos out there. There's a whole bunch of people that makes turbos out there. This particular turbo said to be good for 900, pushing it at 1,000. And I'm not looking to make 1,000. 750 horse to the wheel. Can we do it? Can I do it? Like I said, can I make a 750 horsepower engine stop bottom end from right here underneath this carport? I know people do it all the time, man. So why can't I? Why can't you? We do have head studs. We do have plenty of ring gap. We do have Gen 4 style internals. We have a fly cut L96 piston. We have a Holly Sniper intake, which is said to be great for boosts. It'd have been nice if we would have had one with where I could put the intercooler through it, you know, in it. And both the intercooler on top, throttle body bin on top, and then I can run water through it, air to water. But we're gonna run air to air, so we're gonna have a intercooler, air intercooler, air to air and air to water. With running air to water, it would be nice. I can put a lot cooler temperatures of air going through it, but while driving it, if I don't have fresh ice, it's just gonna be warm water, you know. Moving, hopefully it's going to pass through enough cool air, keep the IATs down, which is intake air temps. We still have yet to measure for the push rods. I have a push rod checker. Let me go get it. Okay. From Comp Cams, part number 7702. What needs to be done is I need to get it on the base circle. And while it's on the base circle, count how many times I screw this out. I don't know if it was every turn is 50 thousandths or every turn is 5 thousandths. I'm not sure. I got to do some more homework on that. But screw this out till it gets to the point to where there's no play in my rocker, and then measure it. Count it out and measure it. I mean, 7.40 is stop, and it seems like 7.40 on here ain't gonna work. It's gonna be too short. I'm guessing. You know, I was looking at one that thinking it was too short, and it may not have been. But I know as it rolled off from the cam, when it rolled off the cam, it never touched the base circle on the cam. It only, when it rolled up on the high side of the cam, the lobe, it would roll up, push the push rod down, and as it rolled down, it wasn't touching the base circle. Which they said like that, you'll have a lot of chatter. It'll sound just like you got a bad engine. So, it's too short of a push rod. Sometimes if you hear noise, and then not only that, I feel like this engine would not even start. I don't even feel like it would start. Maybe it would. Turbo Tuesday. Why am I going turbo over supercharged? Why? For the supercharger guys out there, why you like supercharger so much? Instant torque, instant horsepower, I know I see a lot of donks out there with superchargers on them. I see a lot of guys at the racetrack doing numbers with superchargers on them. I mean, that might be my best bet. A lot less work, a lot less going on, a lot less heat to mess with. I can still run my factory headers. I can still run, you know, just bolt up a pulley system on the front and a cooling system for the lid to cool the lid, to cool the air coming in. Put an ice chest in the trunk. Why can't I do that? It would be more efficient as far as time. I feel like it might be quicker for me. But something about hearing a turbo. But that whine from a supercharger, that's crazy too. That's crazy too. Now, we have a giveaway. A whole complete turbo kit giveaway. I need y'all to chime in on that giveaway if you don't mind. 20 bucks. 20 bucks. Somebody's gonna get a turbo kit. I'm not for sure if it's a GT35 or a GT45, but definitely it's gonna make some power for your LS. Definitely gonna make some power. Now you do have to add injectors. You do have to add bigger fuel pump. You do have to add intercooler piping. But you just knocked out the biggest part of it by, if you win it, you got the turbo, you got your log manifold, like what I got right here. You got your crossover tube, you got your your driver's side manifold, you got your wastegate, you got your fire ring, you got everything that you should need to bolt up that turbo kit onto your LS of any of 5348 or 60. You do. You do. I don't know if this is an educational video or not. I get fumbled up on my words sometimes. You know, I know what I want to say, but then it don't come out. You know what I mean? So, but we'll sit back. We'll watch. If y'all don't mind, watch me. Keep following the build for this turbo 750 horsepower bound. We're going to make, I know we're going to make 600. I know we can make 600, man. I mean, what we're trying to do, we can make 600. You know, what is needed? What is needed? What is needed to make the kind of power that I want to make? Turbo, intercooler, injectors, bigger than stock injectors, bigger stock fuel pump, 3/8 fuel line may suffice, but I'm gonna go bigger. Boost control, fuel pressure regulator, an ECM that can control all this. Intercooler piping is not a must. I could take this and run it directly into here to the throttle body, no problem. But what I have a problem with on that, for me, then I want to drive it on the street and I'm not running E85, is this air coming in here is going to be hot. And that hot air is going to go inside this intake. And hot air is a horsepower robber as well. We want more cooler air as we can get it. If we can have cool intake temps, the possibility of us making higher horsepower is better. Hotter the intake temps, we may have to make the motor work harder, and it's not going to be as efficient. We definitely want to make sure and have an intercooler of some type, because again, we want to run it, we want to drive it, we want to enjoy it. It's not a race truck. If I had a race truck, okay, we put it in here. Something I don't plan on driving all the time, run it straight to the throttle body, right off the compressor housing. You know, it's gonna suck it right in. That short tube right there, there's no excuse why I can't make no boost. Won't be as much lag either, I wouldn't think. I wouldn't think. We definitely gonna make something shake with this. I mean, if it's just 500 horsepower. I feel like we can make more than 500 horsepower. because I made with a 5.3 625. Same turbo, same log manifold. It was done. 625 to the wheel. So 750, we should be able to do it a little more. We should be able to do that. We should be able to do that. We should. To be honest, fall and spring and them cooler days in the fall, them cooler days in the spring, it's boost weather. These hot, muggy days we got today is not ideal for a boost. Not ideal for boost. So, it's okay. And you can still go out there and have some fun. Definitely can still go out there and have some fun. And that's all we trying to do, man. That's all we trying to do. So, if y'all won't mind, follow the build. Hang out with me. Swaps. And this is like one of my first standing in front of something and trying to talk and not really moving around. You know, not showing nothing. I mean, I don't have really much to show y'all other than what we just seen there. An engine, an intake, and a turbo. Hopefully, I gave some information on something that we could possibly learn from. I mean, Richard Holdner, if you want to know anything about turbos, Richard Holdner and gangs of other YouTubers are out there that can give you the breakdown of how to make X amount of horsepower, sloppy mechanics, X amount of horsepower, and give you a whole breakdown of what you need to do and what you need to have to make that horsepower. That's all I'm doing. Basically, is following somebody else's little recipe, minus the heads. You know, I got heads that are very uncommon for people to want to run on a turbo setup, from what I gather. I like that. From what I gather. I'm out here sweating my head out. Sweating. Why would I do it? Why? Why turbo over supercharger? Why? Why would somebody do that? I'm trying. We're going to make it. We're going to do it. Be blessed. Stay blessed. Swaps out.